I have questions that I don't want answers for, I think.
Oh, you know, boys, call me Nostradamus. Not really. Just call me Mutahar. You know, you could be blind, you could be deaf, you could be in a coma. You know, you could be in a coma for 9 years. You know, Metal Gear Solid 5 style. You wake up and somebody tells you, the nurse comes in and it's like, hold on. Do you know that Suicide Squad, the game, died? Dude, you can...
Who would have expected that? Okay, let's place bets. Do you think it has under 1,000 players? Wait, didn't it open with 1,000 players only? Okay, 100 players. Less than 100 players. That's gonna be the bet.
Not have any context and still come to the same conclusion that me and plenty of people made. Now look, I'm actually
everyone made that
okay?
conclusion.
I made a video about 2 weeks ago where I said Suicide Squad is bad and should fail, okay? I think as gamers we should vote with our wallet, okay? All right, you get your wallet, you take out your card only for the good games, and you don't swipe the card when you get a bad game, okay? It's how life should be. Now, for anybody that's not following, Suicide Squad is a sorry, hold on. Live service game. All right, hurts to say.
Well, actually, it's a live service surrounded with small chunks of almost a game, if we want to be completely correct about what's happening there.
A game made by Rocksteady, the geniuses behind, you know, the Arkham quadrology. I'm not going to leave Arkham Origins out of it. That game's like the black sheep for some reason. Actually, was it Rocksteady that made that? No, I think it was a different division. Point is, these are the people behind some of the best single-player games of all time. Now, obviously, Suicide Squad is a live service, 4-player looter shooter.
Yep.
That I played a little bit. Like, I made a video about this. I tried playing it. Obviously, I wasn't able to play it because when you tie your shit-tier game to an internet connection and your servers are run by a disabled hamster, okay, and I can't progress.
To be fair, it's 2 hamsters, but one of them is dead, so, you know.
After a certain point, or the servers keep crashing, yeah, my review isn't going to be so fucking glaring. But obviously, I tried playing this game. I tried giving it a fair shake. Wasn't that great of a title. And I think most of the gaming public kind of agreed that the game wasn't that great of a title either.
No, most people actually said it's horrible trash. Boring, horrible trash, in fact. Boring, horrible, lame, uninspired trash, in fact.
Well, you want to know where we're at now, ladies and gentlemen? We are looking at a big AAA live service game with 801 players on.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Right now, as of literally me recording this video.
Dude, the Suicide Squad Defenders are gonna be like the New World Defenders. Well, if the game's so dead, did you know that recently in the past 1 month, our player average increased by 30%? Holy wow, 30%! Gee willikers, Batman. That's like 200 people. Amazing. Wow, you're doing so good. New World and desperate New World fans. Dude, I don't understand people, by the way. Like, if your game is clearly bad, like New World, Suicide Squad, Skull and Bones, you know, all of that garbage tier nonsense, it's quite obvious that it's bad and everyone hates it. If that was not the case, people would play it. Because, surprise, surprise, it doesn't matter the shilling, it doesn't matter the gaslighting, it doesn't matter the paid for reviews. If the game's good, people are gonna play it. If the game's bad, guess what? People aren't gonna play it. I know, crazy hard concept to understand. Yeah, I know, it is what it is. But, you know, why defend it? Like, you're clearly wrong and everyone knows it. So why are you so desperately trying to say, oh no, this game's way better than you think? I understand people have inherently a psychological need to defend their choices and actions as correct, but come on.
Now its all-time peak was 13,459. Not great by any
that was
metric,
big.
right? Comparing
Wow.
it to things like Pal World or Helldivers 2. And I'll get to those two in a minute. Comparing it to those releases, yeah, this game clearly died. Now, obviously, this is just Steam charts, so before, some of the fans for this game jump into the comments and do the whole Cope Olympics, let me remind you, even Warner Brothers ended up saying this fell short of their expectations, all right?
No shit.
Now, maybe if your expectations were rock bottom, maybe this might have been a good year. But for a company that made another great single-player game like Hogwarts Legacy, pretty much did actually nail it down. Yeah, clearly this game not selling was bad. Now, obviously, Suicide Squad and the whole DC universe, I don't have to deny anybody, but, it is a pretty substantial IP to have a hold of.
It's the lamest IP ever. Again, I'll say it again. Batman is lame, Superman is boring. Deal with it, DC fanboys. You're never gonna change my opinion. I have seen too much of Batman, too much of Superman. Tell me, how many times have you seen this scenario unfold? Guess the superhero, in fact. Let's play a game. Guess the superhero. Okay, the bad guys are winning, everything looks bad, but suddenly some miracle happens, and what just happened? And someone says, I had a plan, obviously. Guess the hero. Yeah, it's Batman. That's how lame he is. Batman can be only interesting so many times until you get tired of the fact that every time it's the same thing. Batman trips on his own shoelaces while not having shoelaces. Then he sticks his fist up his behind, pulls out a bobby pin, and saves the day. Guess the other hero, literal god with super speed, who constantly gets surprised by people just slowly pulling out kryptonite in front of him, and then he's like, son, my weakness, shit like that. Dude, okay, it doesn't matter if kryptonite's his weakness. He can still speed blitz you at nearly the speed of light, well, actually multiple times the speed of light. And yeah, in that time, the kryptonite is not gonna even affect him, okay? It is what it is. Pulling out the kryptonite against Superman, he's gonna make you in a puddle before anything. Oh, but Superman doesn't do that. Yeah, and that's also what makes him lame, okay? How many people has the Batman killed just by sheer ignorance of the fact that the Joker probably is gonna escape for the 270 billionth time and kill another more million people? Huh? How about that?
So they clearly had some power, and with a name like Rocksteady, I, like many others, were genuinely excited. I mean, I was pretty much hoping that they were going to carry the same success and the same genius innovation they had since the Arkham days, okay? Playing the entire Arkham trilogy after seeing the fall of this has shown me how far this company has kind of dropped. Now, obviously, Rocksteady, it's not looking good for them, clearly, when Warner Brothers is coming out saying stuff like this. And remember, when they say this, it means it was bad across the board. The PC isn't some special market. Generally, the console side of things probably has a few more players just because of the size of them, the actual install base. But this didn't do good on the PlayStation, didn't do good on the Xbox, didn't do good on the PC, didn't do good on butt plugs, didn't do good anywhere. It was terrible no matter what platform it dropped on. And obviously there's nobody else to blame on this but the top brass at Rocksteady and the Warner Brothers team. I don't want to walk into this like I'm shitting on developers here, because ultimately a developer doesn't really have a choice in what the game, or at least the back end, is really supposed to be. So usually for a big company like Warner...
Hey, they had a choice. No one was breathing down their necks and saying, make the gunplay bad. Make it super bad. Yeah, make the movement options feel sluggish and boring. No one told them that. They just decided on their own. Yeah, we're gonna be inept and, make that. There you go.
Warner Brothers, a lot of those decisions, like the people who decided, yeah, maybe we should make this game a live service video game, that might be a good idea. That was decided by people at the top brass of Warner Brothers and the big directors over at Rocksteady together, not the average rank and file developer. So I'm not putting my blame into them whatsoever. Obviously, for Rocksteady, it's probably going to be layoff season sometime soon, as sad as it is to say. And
Nice.
I worry for a lot of those developers that got kind of dragged into this monster and made this game knowing full well that it wasn't going to be received properly. Now, obviously, the backlash towards Suicide Squad is something plenty of people in the video gaming space have made videos about. Look, if you're going to make a live service game, and look, some of them are actually pretty good. Helldivers 2, for my only complaint being that the servers are kind of in a shitty spot, that game is still, when it functions, a good example.
It's called suffering from success.
Of live service basically done right. And one of the things that I'm glad about seeing over here, and by the way, live service means that your game has an active player base. Suicide Squad 800 people on Steam isn't going to be carrying this anytime soon. I'm still shocked that there's actually 80% positive reviews on this game, knowing full well the only people defending it are legitimately coping. And the fact that this game launched without any form of content I would consider worth the actual price tag asked for it. The thing about these live service games is when you release them, you kind of release them with the expectation that the content is gonna come. We're gonna feed it in. Now look, live service gaming, when done right, is a money maker. You got games like Fortnite, you've got games like Roblox that might as well be their own industries, carrying like what, GDPs of some smaller countries? You've got game franchises like Grand Theft Auto. For the last 10 years, Grand Theft Auto, and I'm not even joking when I say this, I'm pretty fucking sure that GTA 5 made more money, one game in the franchise, through its online component, and of course the actual raw sales of its single player component, more sales than the entire previous games in the franchise, all the way from Grand Theft...
Bro, they probably made more money than the GDP of France.
Auto on the original PlayStation 1 back when they were DMA design, all the way up to GTA 4 when they were Rockstar Games. I'm sure I can confidently say that GTA 5 made more money. And that is the definition of a live service game. It's still a game.
Yep. Well, no, actually, I don't agree with that. I don't think GTA 5 is the definition of a live service game. The single-player component is absolutely lacking in zero ways, okay? The GTA 5 story is just so good. I honestly I almost feel like replaying it time to time, even though I never replay single-player games for the most part. It's just that crazy good.
Where the online component still gets content to this very day. Now, when you're making a live service experience like Suicide Squad, the expectation is you make a good game, the game is played by millions of people worldwide, hundreds.
Well, too bad Suicide Squad wasn't the intent of making a good game. It was the intent of making microtransactions and adding, like, solitaire on top.
Of thousands of players at any given moment, and the content comes out every few months. So every few months you get a season, and then another season, and then another season. Another live service game that I feel was done absolutely impeccably was a game called Rainbow Six Siege when I used to play it. I would play this game literally every single day, and obviously after the course of months, Ubisoft would release another season, and then another season. New operators, new maps, new everything. There was something like Suicide Squad. Look, at the end of the day, those two games, Siege and GTA Online, no matter what you consider, are good, well-produced games. They're addictive games at their core. People enjoy them. And when you look at something like Suicide Squad, it was a game that released bare bones. It was a game that didn't even have to be a live service game to start with. It could have been a single-player experience, start to finish, would have been reviewed absolutely well had they made a great game, and it would have absolutely been another notch on Rocksteady's belt.
Bro, come on. I mean, this is kind of funny because he's trying to do this deep explanation for the very simple concept of make good game, people play it and like it. Make bad game, or no game at all, honestly, nowadays. People don't play it and don't like it. Wah. Too bad he's not actually going into the Rocksteady drama, because I absolutely love the Batman franchise, Arkham game fanboys, and their low IQ perspectives on this. Like, for example, oh, you made so many good Batman games. How dare you? How dare you even try to make something else? You should have made another Batman game. You can't make anything else. So people were pissed that, it's not another Arkham game because they wanted a sequel. And then there's the other part that, well, you got the sequel. This online whatever catastrophe thing, if you don't want to accept that it's in a different universe than Arkham games because it has Arkham references, well, then you got the sequel that you wanted to get. So, have fun with it. Oh, I just love it.
Instead, they decided to focus a game on producing it, making it a game that people would jump in, grind their dailies, and whatnot. We're long past the days of Shenmue with the forklift job, okay? Nowadays, motherfuckers are spoiled for choice on every video game. We don't have to sit down and basically come home from work to log in to do another job, especially when that job, known as Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, wasn't actually even that fun. At the core, this game...
I mean, a lot of people didn't think it was fun because they were stupid. One of the most prevalent complaints about Suicide Kill the Justice League, and again, I want to reiterate, Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League, okay? One of the main complaints that people said about this game is, oh, what do you mean I can't save the Batman and then play with him? And what are we doing? We're killing the good guys? Where? How is that possible? I can't believe a game called Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League would ever have you play as the baddies. Like, I don't know how low of an IQ you need to actually have to not understand what the game is about, okay? It's about killing the Justice League. And unironically, there's a whole group of people who are like, why can't we save Batman and Superman and save the day? Okay? People are getting pissed that there's a cutscene where everyone's frozen and Harley Quinn is not the only one frozen, and she just goes for the ass touch on Deadshot. Dude, and they're like, oh, Harley Quinn. No, Harley Quinn would exactly do that. Harley Quinn is a literal psychopath, you idiot. Okay, stop. I understand DC's trying to make her like the face of their universe nowadays and whatnot, other dumb shit like that, but dude, she's a psychopath. Obviously, she's gonna do it, okay? Oh, they pissed on Flash. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Oh, Batman got killed and this was the last job before the voice actor died. You can't kill him because of that. I mean, do you think the voice actor didn't know what voice lines he's making there? Or what exactly is your point here? That can't happen. The voice actor agreed to the job. No one could have forced him to not do the job. He agreed to the job, which means he wanted to do the job. And you're like, oh, that's so disrespectful towards him. Bro, some people are insane.
Really seemed like a single player game. Unfortunately, somebody at UB or WB came by and said, whoa, you guys working on that new DC game? Hold on, I got a great idea. We got the brand power. Let's make it a live service. And that's how the whole roller coaster began. And that's why we're here.
That is stupid. Do not listen to moronic takes like this. It's very rare that a game starts and then magically, yes, you know what, live service it is now. Now it does happen, true, but the chances that happen is zero.
You're not celebrating a good release. Now, ultimately, I think it's actually great this game failed from the industry standpoint because, look, as gamers, as people, we are putting in a lot of money per release, okay? A lot of these releases have jumped up to like $70 US per release.
Buy less shit. Refund. That's what I say.
And that's me.
Dude, I'm not gonna play Skull and Bones, okay? I'm never gonna spend that money on that garbage.
That means that for people who, are on stricter budgets, they can probably choose to get a game, maybe a few games a year at best. So your options on picking which game you want to buy really has become like a luck.
Oh god, again with the, you can only buy a few games a year. Dude. I understand being out of touch is pizzazz and whatnot, but okay, listen. If you're struggling to buy, like, you know, a single or maybe 5 games a year and you're a gamer and whatnot, then you probably have bigger problems in life than those games, because you have shown that you are completely, without any question and any reasonable doubt, incapable of governing your own life because you're a mouth breather. Okay? Jesus Christ. Not a few games. So what are we talking about? 200 euros a fucking year? You can't save that? That's a problem to you? Bro, people on minimum wage that don't have autism are capable of doing that. Okay? Stop. You're a walking commercial for why the government should treat us as cattle.
Of the draw. So when you go out to buy a game that are costing $70 a price, you really have to pick which games you want, which games give you the better value. Not everyone is going to be dumping $70. And again, like I said in my previous video, this is a game that's meant to be played cooperatively. Convincing all of your friends to buy a $70 game just to play together without any form of split.
Not really. You can actually play this game solo. No problem. That's actually not true.
Split screens, or from my understanding, free trials, is pretty fucking risky. And we're sitting in a day and age where games like Helldivers 2, games like Palworld are launching without those $70 price points, meaning that you can buy the game, and if your buddy still can't afford the game, you can also sometimes double up and buy them a copy of the game too. So again...
Okay, enough with the bullshit, not even real life, just fairy tales. Anyway, this is Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. That was Mudahar. Or, you know, what's left of him after that pause. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.